Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Age of Fear, the Undead King hardcore mode. Now, I have enabled auto-collect, which is a new feature that the developers have put in recently and have informed me about. It means that we will no longer miss out on stuff in-game. So let's dive into the campaign. Quick note, there may be some irregularity in uploads of this particular series this week, just letting you know. Right, so let's have a look at this. This is going to be a shop. What can we get here? Basic stuff. Yeah, just like there's not some Noble's cloak and Ranger's cloak isn't too bad. And I do like it that they've introduced new art assets for the potions, because the potions all used to be relatively the same looking, just with different colours. But now they are all different looking, which is very nice. Well, most of them anyway.
Edward's band made it back from the peasant's home just in time to join the king's war party. It had taken a few days to gather and assemble all of the kingdom's troops. Even though the king's army was well disciplined, the preparations to march to Grey Rock Citadel still took several days. The sheer size of the army made the logistics time-consuming. Edward, like the rest of the young nobles, was assigned to the vanguard. He was ordered to gather his team and join the scouting party on the main road. The king offered some funds to the young nobleman so that he could pay his party and hire mercenaries. Edward decided that it was a good time to enlist more soldiers before departing.
Okay, so we got a bit of cash, 750 gold, so we're probably going to grab, let's see, what do we need? Another bowman probably, yeah, another bowman, and we'll grab another swordsman. Just so that we have a good steady roster of troops, because it can become a bit of a problem if we start losing veteran troops. Right. Nothing really worth picking up. Just make sure people have potions of healing as well. Right. I know it costs a bit of money, but like I'd rather spend 60 gold than lose a unit, which would cost us then like 300 or 200 gold to replace. Right, let's switch him over. If I can just remember how to do it. I'm a bit rusty at this game, folks, so you can't tell. I haven't played it in a while. There we go. Take the potion off of him and put him on there. Equip. There we go. Excellent.
Edward didn't expect any danger on the main roads, especially since nearly every able-bodied warrior was now in the king's army. Still, he erred on the side of caution and wore full armor on the march. As they traveled down the king's road, they passed some peasants who regarded the party curiously. Edward wondered if the citizens knew of their peril, or thought this was some routine army exercise. Edward's men were assigned skirmishing positions well ahead of the main army. Greenskins weren't generally stealthy, so he did not fear an ambush. However, as he neared the forest edge, he felt a momentary sense of danger, and soon realized that it was too quiet. There was no sound from the birds or other wildlife. However, when a few orcs appeared in the nearby copse of trees at the edge of the forest, Edward knew he had wandered into a trap. He knew he had only one option. He called to his men. "Form up and advance!"
Yeah, probably the villagers know, dude, that it is not a military training exercise. They didn't tend to have those in the medieval period. So Navan, well, if it isn't the mighty Edward the Ogre Slayer. Knight Bandit, I can't say I'm pleased to meet you, sir. That's understandable. How many ogres did you slay, boy? One so far, but it was a really huge one. Well done. Unfortunately, now that you've seen me, I'll have to kill you. But that's understandable too, sir. Right, let's go. Let's see what we're facing. We know that normally in these situations where they have lower numbers than us, yeah, he's got quality item, sword. We know from engagements where they have less in the unit numbers than us that they'll probably have reinforcements turning up. So we're going to pull our units in.
Excellent.
And position them so that they can flank, so our melee units can flank any distant or any approaching enemy unit. He's only got 2 HP, so we should be able to do for him relatively quickly, as long as we focus fire.
Surely.
Make sure nobody's facing backwards, so the enemy can't get back attacks on us, off on us, which will give them a hit chance increase.
Splendid. Aiming.
I'm going to move the swordsman down here just for a tad. Right. We can try and bribe a unit. We don't want to bribe greenskins because it will affect our unit's morale. So that will hit. There we go. And out pops units. Jacob, sir, I have my first time holding a sword. Pointy end towards the enemy, right? Oh, now I get it, says the boy. Right, so let's try and soften up some of these greenskins.
On it.
That missed, that's a shame. Well, let's charge now.
Try to stop me.
Ah, excellent to the wound. Ah, the knight hisses. It seems Edward boy knows how to fight, says the knight. I am trying my best, sir. Now I will make you end quick if possible, boy. So I'd prefer it if you stopped calling me boy. I think I can grant that request, chuckles the knight. Well, at least we broke a bone, which means you will have stat penalties. Let's hope Edward can hold out long enough.
Glorious.
Just out of range, yeah. I had to worry about those guys down the bottom. Hopefully Edward and the soldier up top can deal with them, while these guys hold off the approaching greenskins from the bottom. Took a hit. We're not doing as bad as I thought so far, but that may turn. That orc is the main issue. He'll tear through my troops really quickly if I'm not careful. Because he has double the health of my troops, so I have to gang up on him. Let's just try and shoot him for now. We missed, that's a shame. We'll shoot on the goblins instead, hopefully lower morale. Right. We killed the goblin, which is good. Broke morale a bit. Let's continue to try and kill off this knight because he's the main threat. We'll charge. We'll kill off the other goblin. I was hoping to break the orc.
For the kingdom.
And I missed that, that's gonna hurt. Okay, took a hit on him. That missed. Edward is getting a real pummeling. No injuries so far, which is fine. Let's try and help out the guys down here. So we're going to kill off the goblin. And the orc's morale is very badly damaged.
Commands.
Right. Who do you want to shoot? Shoot the orc, or shoot this orc? We'll shoot this orc. Since if we can get one more hit off, it will break him. Excellent, we did break him, so he's fleeing now. We continue to chase him down.
They won't know.
Excellent. Right.
Taste my dagger.
Continue to kill him. We'll kill the knight. Actually, we probably should pull back because we can only bribe the orc. I wish we could bribe the knight, but he's an enemy hero, which you can't do. So we're going to break from combat, heal, but because we have segmented movement, we can charge back into combat. There we go. And that's would badly hit their morale. Excellent. Good thing I healed, I would have lost Edward if I hadn't. Right, let's shoot at the orc.
Want some more?
That broke the orc and the orc is running. Excellent.
Out of my way. Very clever.
He's dead as well. So we'll get him to finish him off.
To glory.
There we go. And as you can see, we automatically get all the loot from all the objects, so we don't have to go breaking stuff up, which is nice. A nice change of pace.
As the sounds of battle stilled, Edward approached the knight who had ridden with the orcs. His wounds were serious, but he was still breathing. A few dead greenskins were lying in the dirt nearby. Edward recognized the man as Sir Navon, whom he had seen a few times around Redcastle. Edward pointed the tip of his sword blade at the knight's throat and said, "Sir, could you explain this situation to me?" "There is not much to explain, boy. It's money." "Sir Navon, there is never a good reason for a knight to join with those creatures." Sir Navon replied in an angry tone. "Tell me then what a knight without land or coin should do. Your precious King William stripped everything I owned from me. My sons died in his war. My lands burned to the ground by his holy church. What else could I do when the one who is supposed to protect me has left my life in ruins?" Edward felt a brief tinge of sympathy, which quickly turned to anger. King William would treat you fairly if you rode with his army against the Greenskin horde. No, it's too late for me. Robbery on the King's Road is punishable by death. I want neither your mercy nor his. They spoke no more. Edward left the wounded knight's side. A few villagers had seen the fight and reported the incident to the militia. Soon after, the kingdom's royal guards arrived. Edward reported the details of the incident to the guards' captain, and Sir Navon was taken away in chains. It was obvious that the group could no longer safely patrol the area, so Edward's party joined the royal guards and had their wounds tended.
Glitching all over the place. Sorry about this, folks. Lots of interesting places turning up. Ah, excellent. The mermaid is here. Now, this is the reason I was keeping hold of the pearls. It allows us to basically pay her. Because she is an encounter where if you give her a pearl, she would give you a random item or object in return. And they can be really useful. So let's hope we can get something great out of the bargain. It's always hit and miss, I find. Right. Ranger's Cloak. Not as good as I had hoped. It's not bad, but it could be better. So you'll only do that once every day. Right, our units have leveled up. Here they've fixed the experience thing. It used to be that you used to get free HP with every one level of these. But they've changed it now. Right, probably want to go regular still. Even without the HP, it's still the preferred option. We'll improve his defense. I'm really tempted just to buy him some more defense anyway, because his defense is low. We'll wait until I can get Noble. Nobody's leveled up quite yet. No, we need a bit more XP. These guys can grab Intelligent. I mean, we could go and fight some more... Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. Yeah, so that guy's got Steel and it's pretty useless. I'm not a fan of Steel. I think it's overrated for what it is. Yeah, taking items from units is fine, but the risk of losing a unit for an item that may not be worth it. Yeah, Ranger's Cloak it's not a bad item, it's just not great. I mean, our defense is a bit higher. Six is still not great. I would like it to be a bit higher, unfortunately. I mean, I tend to just to buy the the enhanced armor trait, to be honest, to give him more defense, since he's going to be the main bulwark of our force at the moment. Right, what else do we have? I don't want to really fight any of the engagements. Like, when I've been playing this on my own, I find the random encounters can be very unbalanced, and I'd rather not lose units. We've got one of these magical crystals. They're useful as a way of recharging your mage units, but if you can hold on to enough crystals, you get a really nice magical item out of it. Temple of the Moon, we can't do anything with until we get an object that allows us to get into the temple. And it's the same with the alchemists. You need to have a set amount of money to do the job for him.
The king's justice was swift. Sir Navon was hanged the next day. Shortly after the execution, Tybalt approached Edward. "Edward, the king would like to see you in his chambers. Follow me, please." The king's chamber displayed nothing of the opulence Edward had imagined. It was sparsely furnished, and piles of maps, books, and reports filled up every space. It was at this moment that Edward realized war was much more than sword fights and battle marches. King William gave him little time to assess the room further and spoke immediately. "Ah, Edward, we meet again. I see you are making a reputation for yourself. Sir Navon must not have been an easy opponent." "Thank you, my king. I was merely doing what was right." "Some explanation is required. Sir Navon lost his fortune gambling and became a common bandit. On top of that, though it was never proven, he was accused by the Holy Church of performing dark magic." "I understand, Your Majesty." "Those things shouldn't worry you, though, Edward. You demonstrated loyalty, bravery, and the skills worthy of a knight. Therefore, you shall become one." Edward was surprised that the king wanted to knight him so quickly, but Tybalt reassured him and helped him through the ceremony. "Kneel before me, Edward, son of Boren. I dub thee knight. Be loyal, brave, and true." The king put the sword and belt on Edward's waist and buckled golden spurs to his ankles. "Rise, Sir Edward, Knight of King William." After the ceremony was over and Edward had left the king's chamber, Tybalt walked with him. "You've become a true knight, my boy. I suppose I should call you Sir Edward from now on. In any case, we will be departing soon. Tend to your wounded and be prepared to march." "Yes, sir." "King William is also giving you some coin from his treasury, as is the custom for all new knights. I regret that it is not more, but much of the crown's funds are going into this war right now." "Thank you, Sir Tybalt. I much appreciate it." "Recruit whoever you can. As a noble, you can afford a bigger party. And keep in mind that it is not only greenskins that you will have to fight." Edward had learned that lesson all too well. He headed off to see to his wounded and recruit more men for his party.
I will say that the king's explanation was quite hollow. It's like, oh yeah, he lost his land gambling. And the church thought he might be doing dark magic. Like, there's no proof of any of that. Like, because remember the knight said that the king had seized his land. It never said that he lost it to do with gambling. I don't know. It's just like when the king says, "Oh yeah, I did the right thing," and the church was suspicious of him. It's like, really, the church, who was like massively suspicious of everyone who wasn't a die-hard loyalist. Right, so this is our base of operations, a knightly estate, which allows us to go and recruit units and various bits and pieces. It's very cool. When King William grant a small plot of land to a lifetime of loyal service to human kingdom, the lord and subject are made into their mission to build a new life in the country. The villagers are only a few, but the visitors can see them happy and well fed. The mansion is still rough and requires more work, but it's good to start for a minor landlord. The farmhand pushes a wheelbarrow forwards and whistles for the guards to come and help you. Alright, so if you actually want to upgrade, it's 6,000 gold. Dear lord. Yeah, I won't be getting that for a while. Right. So what we can get? We can get monks, knights, royal guards on top of the usual fare. I probably want to get a royal guard, partly because they're one of the better units, and they're better than our normal line infantry. I can't afford a knight, and getting a monk who is basically a healer would pretty much eat up all of our funds. So we can have the intelligence perk. We'll switch one of our guys out. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best setup in the world, but it'll have to do. Yeah, so let's leave. We've got to save here as well, folks. This is going to be a shorter episode than normal, but it's just going to have to be how it is today. Various bits and pieces are happening, so I can't do my normal length video. Oh, I forgot to get out. As always, I hope you have liked. Please press the like button if you wish to subscribe. Please press the subscription button. You can follow me on Twitter and you can follow me on Steam. And I shall see you all again next time, folks. Goodbye.